What if the most advanced AI model running on your phone right now was trained using a number of chips that the company building it has never said out loud? Not in a research paper, not in an interview, not anywhere, officially, ever. That's exactly what's happening right now with one of the most talked about AI models on the planet. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why that number is being kept so quiet, what we can actually piece together from public information, and why the real answer might be bigger and stranger than anything you've heard floating around online. Before we go further, if breakdowns like this are useful to you, tap that like button, drop a comment letting me know which AI model you use the most right now, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Okay, let's get into it. Here's the first thing you need to understand. The company behind this model has built a habit of staying completely silent about its hardware. No chip count, no GPU number, no total compute figure. Officially, in any document they've ever published, that information simply does not exist. And that silence is not an accident, it is a strategy. So how do we even start answering a question the company refuses to answer? We start with the only thing that actually is public, the infrastructure deals. In late 2024, this company signed a massive partnership with one of the world's biggest cloud providers. That partnership turned into a supercomputing cluster, and by late 2025, that cluster had grown to nearly 500,000 custom AI chips, all wired together into one giant connected system. And here's the part that should genuinely stop you in your tracks. By the end of that same year, the plan was to push that number past 1 million chips. 1 million on a single cluster. But that's only half of the story, and honestly, the smaller half. Around that same period, this company struck a second massive deal, this time with a completely different tech giant for access to up to 1 million more specialized AI processors, a different chip architecture entirely, purpose-built for training and running giant language models. And on top of both of those deals, they're still using traditional graphics processors from the most well-known chipmaker in the world, too. So just pause for a second and actually sit with that. We are talking about a company that potentially has access to several million individual processors spread across multiple cloud providers, multiple chip architectures, multiple data centers, all running at the same time. And this is exactly where things get murky, because nobody outside that company knows how many of those chips were dedicated specifically to training this one model versus running it for the millions of people using it every single day versus quietly training the next model that's probably already deep in progress right now. Now here's where it gets even stranger, and this is the part most people online completely misunderstand. A few months back, a tech billionaire who runs a rival AI lab posted something online that seemed to accidentally reveal details about a competitor's model size, suggesting one version might sit somewhere around 5 trillion parameters. To be very clear, this was never confirmed by the company that actually built the model in question. It was a guess dressed up as a leak, built on a comparison between competing systems. But the internet ran with it anyway, because when a company refuses to officially confirm anything, every scrap of indirect information turns into a clue that people obsess over for months. And honestly, that obsession makes complete sense once you understand what's actually at stake. Training a model at this scale isn't just expensive, it's absurdly expensive. We're talking about power demands measured in the same units used to describe entire small cities, cooling systems the size of warehouses, capital investment running into tens of billions of dollars just for the physical buildings and hardware before a single line of training code has even started running. So why all the secrecy? There are a few real reasons. First, competitive advantage. If a rival company knew the exact scale of compute being used, they could reverse engineer a lot about the model's true capabilities, its real running costs, and even its actual profit margins. Second, valuation. Companies in this space are being valued at well over $100 billion, and part of that valuation story depends on controlling the narrative around how efficient or how massive their training process actually is. And third, something that almost never gets talked about, safety optics. Companies building frontier AI are extremely careful about not appearing to be in a reckless, no-limits compute arms race, even while behind closed doors they very much are. Here's something most people watching videos like this one don't realize, and it's honestly the biggest mistake people make in these conversations. The size of a model and the number of chips used to train it are two completely different numbers. Confusing them is exactly how rumors snowball into facts. You could train a massive model on fewer, more efficient chips running for a very long stretch of time, or train a smaller model on an enormous chip cluster running for a much shorter time. Total training compute is really a combination of three things: chip count, chip efficiency, and training duration. And when a company refuses to publish even one of those three numbers, every estimate floating around online is at best an educated guess wearing a disguise. So what's the honest answer to the question we started with? Nobody outside that company actually knows the precise chip count used to train this specific model. What we do know for a fact is that the surrounding infrastructure is now operating at a scale that simply did not exist anywhere in this industry just 2 years ago. Multiple clusters, multiple chip architectures, several million processors across the company's total operations, and a level of secrecy around the exact numbers that's quickly becoming the new normal across every major AI lab on the planet, not just this one. If this kind of behind-the-scenes look into how these models actually get built is something you want more of, this channel is going to keep digging into the numbers companies don't want to talk about. So make sure you're subscribed, drop a comment with what you think the real number actually is, and I'll see you in the next one.